Hello and welcome to Play PKN, the weekly video bulletin of the top news stories on PKN Packaging News, Australia's media hub for the packaging industry. I'm PKN's publisher Lindy Hewson, and this week's bulletin is brought to you by Jet Technologies, supplier of food packaging solutions that will be on show at AUSPACK on stand A160. Well, we're going to start with some breaking news. In a triumph for Australian packaging design, OF Packaging's high-barrier, curbside recyclable muesli pouch for Brook Farm, using the Roll and Recycle program, has won the Diamond, which is the highest honour, at the prestigious Dow 2021 Packaging Innovation Awards, which were announced last night. Now, the Dow Awards recognise packaging projects from around the globe demonstrating the very best in sustainable innovation. OF Packaging's solution enables consumers to transform their empty 100% polyethylene pouches when they're flat and roll them into a 3D shape suitable for their recycling bin, so it's ready for recycling through existing processes. The pack has already won 2 PETA Awards and World Star recognition. This winning packaging, by the way, will be on display at AUSPACK on OF Packaging stand C170. Joe Foster, MD of OF Packaging, said his team was thankful and humbled to be recognized with this top global award. Congratulations, Joe and team. And now onto the budget. Although some may be underwhelmed by the pre-election budget, the packaging industry can look forward to additional funding to develop plastic recycling and also for regional manufacturing. There are a couple of things worth mentioning. Firstly, the additional $83 million for the $190 million Recycling Modernisation Fund and the National Waste Policy Action Plan, of which $60 million has been allocated to develop new plastics recycling technology and advanced recycling solutions, and $18 million will go towards the Recycling Education Campaign and Remade in Australia scheme. And secondly, the additional $328 million for the Modern Manufacturing Initiative over the next 5 years. This was originally announced in the 2020 budget, which along with a boost for regional development was welcomed by APPMA, and that's the organisation that owns AUSPACK. Then thirdly, the 2B Regional Accelerator Program, in turn, which was welcomed by the Australian Food and Grocery Council. Now, CEO Tanya Barden said it would support this extra funding, would support regional food and grocery manufacturers who already employ 40% of the $132 billion industry's workforce. But Barden said, although the addition was welcome, it was nevertheless inadequate, given the investment challenges that are currently faced by the food and grocery sector. She said that if the industry is to reach its potential of doubling by 2030, significant capital investment will be required. Okay, moving on to some other news. A company on the up and up is digital flexible packaging operation ePac, which has now installed a second digital flexible printing and pouch making line less than 6 months after opening for business with its first line. The investment is in response to the Melbourne-based company's growing Australian customer base and will double the company's pouch production capacity. Like all the lines at ePac, the technology being used is based on HP Indigo wide web flexible printing. Now on to a global story. FMC giant Unilever is working with its R&D teams to develop solutions to keep plastics in the circular economy and find new materials to replace virgin single-use plastics. It says because there is not enough supply of recycled plastics to meet the needs for use as food packaging, it will be working with its R&D teams to source materials using 2 complementary routes, mechanical and advanced recycling. For example, its Hellmann's plastic bottles and jars in the US and Canada, it says, are made from 100% recycled and recyclable plastic recovered via mechanical recycling. And on the other hand, working with its partner SABIC, Unilever uses advanced recycling technology to provide it with ready access to food-grade recycled polypropylene plastic to make its 30 million Magnum pint tubs, which are sold throughout Europe, Australia and New Zealand. A great circular story, and we need more of that. And lastly, a bit of global news for today. Europe has a history of offering sanctuary to refugees, and it is heartwarming news that Messe Dusseldorf has converted its biggest hall at APPMA into a temporary accommodation center for Ukrainian refugee mothers and babies who are, of course, fleeing Russia's invasion of their country. The 25,000 square meter hall, which usually has packaging, processing and filling equipment wall to wall during APPMA, now is playing host to 1,000 cots for babies and their mothers. Well, that's all from PKN for this week. For more on these and other stories, head to packagingnews.com.au and do not forget to register for the upcoming AUSPACK exhibition and the Leaders Forum. Head to auspack.com.au to do just that. That's it from me, Lindy Hewson. Thanks for listening.